Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today is day 483 and 484. Let's go ahead and get started, and I will tell you guys about my topics for today. Okay, so while we're waiting for it to incline up to 10 before we get up to 15, I've had a slightly busy week. I will go ahead and start off with the updates so that our main topics are just during our main part of our walk. Okay, so my update for today is on my second pair of prescription glasses. As you can see, I have them on. They're super cute, super lightweight, but I've been having some trouble with the adjustment, and so I had them readjusted yesterday, and I'm still having trouble. So you might see me like messing with my glasses throughout the video, but that's because I just can't seem to get them to sit right. They're very light. My lens was made somewhere else other than the eye doctor place so that it would be a thin enough material. Oh, we're at 15. And so now I'm just kind of dealing with a slightly new prescription and pretty much just trying to get used to them overall. I didn't have that fishbowl effect, but I did have kind of like a tunnel vision type effect with them. And so it was kind of funny because when I was walking around in the store with the other pair, this is going to be my main pair. My other pair you guys saw me with, the triangle shape, was going to be my emergency pair, unless these just annoy me to the point to where I just can't stand them and I end up putting them in a case, not planning on ever having to use them because I'm usually really good with my glasses. And see, even now when when I look to left or right, that's when they go crooked. And so they look straight probably to you guys and to everyone that sees them, but you know how you can feel it when it's on your face, it's not straight. So I'm gonna see if these are gonna stay my main pair, and if the other pair that you guys saw of my videos since I started back making them, if those are gonna be my emergency pair. But I mean, overall, they're really unique. They were a very affordable price, just $30, and the eye doctor told me that they came from Italy, and so I was kind of excited about that. I was like, oh, it's unique. And so I like each of my pair for different reasons, but I just wish these would sit right because they're super lightweight, and I have so much visibility with them because I practically have little to no frame, as you can see with them. So I was hoping that it would go okay. And I guess where they were sitting, someone else looked at them and they said, oh, you need to go back in there and have him adjust your nose pieces. And then when that happened, that's when they stopped sitting correctly. They looked better on my face, but that's where everything just kind of went downhill. And so I obviously don't want them to look awkward, but at the same time, I think I liked the way they sat before because I wasn't having to constantly push them back up and stuff like that. And I don't think that they were crooked before they got adjusted the first time while we were still there. I'm going to try and get this thing up to 2.3. But yeah, that's my update on my prescription glasses. And I'm excited, somewhat. I have a pair of prescription sunglasses, and they had to send them out for the thinner lens. And then I found out that the eyeglass place, I don't know if you guys know this, but some of them can actually, like let's say, for instance, you have, I don't know, Michael Kors sunglasses, but you need them as prescriptions. Some of the eye doctor places can actually, I don't know if that's engraved on the lens, but they can put that logo, brand name, whatever you want to call it, back onto the lens. Because, of course, they're going to have to pop out the sunglasses lens to make your sunglasses prescription. And so I didn't know that. And then, if they can't, where we go, they actually can send them to a jeweler, and the jeweler can do it. Because the thing about having to have prescription glasses, period, for me, is the fact that if I want them to say Cartier back on the lens, which is one of the ways you can tell like that they're authentic, is to have them sent over. And so one person said, oh, I talked to the jewelry department or the store, and they said, yes, they can do it, but now that's going to make it take longer for you to get back your glasses. And then the eye doctor said, well, no, we can't do it. But I'm not sure if he meant that they can't do it themselves or that the jewelry store will not be able to do it either. So I have no clue, number one, exactly what they're going to look like because my prescription lens is not in them just yet. Number two, I actually picked a slightly lighter black for the lens. The lens will still be polarized. And so if you don't know what polarized is, let me hip you to it, because you can go to Walmart and you can buy polarized sunglasses that are not prescription, and they are made specifically to fit over your prescription glasses. No, I know it seems kind of awkward to be wearing two different pairs of glasses at the same time, but if your regular prescription glasses are lightweight like mine and small, then you hardly can tell that they're on underneath those sunglasses. So polarized is where you can see a little bit of the color of the lens, just a little. Like let's say it's black or gray, it'll be like a light black or light gray or brown, but it looks clear looking out. So it's almost as if you just have on your regular prescription glasses by themselves. But from the outside looking in, they still look like sunglasses. They still look dark to other people. Unless, of course, you go with the lens color for them that is light to begin with, which would kind of defeat the purpose of having prescription sunglasses, right? So yeah, polarized just gives you more vision of a clarity of vision without having to worry about the fact that even though you're wearing prescription sunglasses, the lens is too dark. Okay, so you may find that you're actually able to get them a little darker, or let's just say you might find that you don't want to do polarized. At some point, if your eyes continue to get better, and of course, since it's cheaper, you can get regular prescription sunglasses. But once I got introduced to the polarized glasses that cover up my prescription glasses and saw how much easier it was to see, especially when I'm driving, I said, okay, maybe I'll try to do the prescription sunglasses. And I had stopped for a while because if you think about it, you don't want to change glasses while you're driving, which I've done. It's not fun. Of course, a safer option would be to pull over or get off at the next exit, change your glasses, and then get back on the road. But for those of you whom have never had prescription sunglasses at all, whether you go regular sunglasses or polarized for your prescription, you might get that fishbowl effect. So I would say, my advice is, and I always say if I give you advice, you don't have to take it, obviously it's your choice, but test it walking around first, no matter which way you decide to go with the prescription sunglasses, regular or polarized. Okay, so yeah, I'm excited for that pair. The other pair I have, they told me that I could keep the same prescription, and either it was just talk about timing one of those moments, or that slight difference in my prescription, it gave me a headache. So I'm debating my prescription polarized sunglasses that I had made earlier this year, if I want to have that pair as well. Because if I do, I'm gonna have to tell them I'm getting headaches, and so I don't care how long it takes to get them back, but I need my new prescription in those sunglasses. So I don't know, I might do one more test because I think we still have quite some time for the second pair to come. And now it's gonna be like my main pair of prescription sunglasses because unless, like I said, I just would have had a headache at that time anyway, then I only have one pair instead of two prescription sunglasses like I wanted. And then also, okay, so someone told me that the glasses look like Tony Stark. Like his glasses, and I was like, I don't want to look like Tony Stark. There's nothing wrong with the way he looks, you know, the character or whatever. Can't remember who plays him. But I said, I don't know. So are you saying the glasses look like his glasses, the character? Of course, I don't look like him, but I was curious. I was like, I don't be walking around look like an Avenger. It was just funny. So I'm nervous because they gave me a second pair while they were writing up everything and to put whether or not they're going to have that engraving back in the lens. And they gave me a different pair of polarized sunglasses to put on. And I did not have on my prescription glasses. And I was like, ooh, I can see. And so that's the other thing. Oddly enough, my eyes are getting better without my glasses on. But when I go to have the prescription done, the prescription's worse. At least for one of my eyes, the left. So still trying to figure out how that is. I don't know. Maybe one day I won't need them. Not sure. But I'm also nervous because I picked the lighter of the two of the black. I didn't go with how dark they were from the actual lens that was in those polarized sunglasses. I went with the less of the two of how dark they are. And I'm talking about from looking from the inside out. Then you have to look at the fact that they're polarized, so it's going to be clearer to see. Then you got to look at the fact that my prescription is going to be in them, so that's going to make it even easier to see. And my concern is are they going to be so light that they're going to be like my first pair that I got earlier this year, where I actually had to get clip-ons, and I'm thinking maybe that's the problem. Okay, so you're probably going to say, of course you should have known not to do that, LaRae. I know, but I picked two clip-ons that were polarized that I clipped on over those prescription sunglasses I have. Okay, so maybe that's where the headache came from. The fact that I should have known not to do it, I shouldn't even have chanced it if I didn't know. Just the fact that anything bad could have happened. It could have distorted my vision or anything while I was driving. I probably shouldn't have done that either way it goes. So I thought I don't want to defeat the purpose of having prescription sunglasses. I need them for when I drive, and I need them to be dark enough to block out some of the light from the sun. Enough to where it doesn't look clear when I'm looking out when I'm driving with sunglasses on. So yeah, that's my other thing. And I thought, okay, so you listened, you went with the lighter of the two of how dark they are, just in general. But what if they're too dark? So, oh my gosh, I would have one pair too light with a prescription I possibly can't wear anymore. And I would have one too dark with my new prescription. So we will see. We definitely have to have an update when I get them, after I drive with them the first time, to let you guys know what happened with my second pair of prescription polarized sunglasses that now are going to take first place if I don't have the new prescription put in the first pair. So we'll see. I do have a backup of, like I said, the polarized glasses that you put on over your glasses from Walmart. They're super cute, and we found them this most recent trip that we went on. And so I now am going to watch those glasses like a hawk. they're perfect. They make me think, why waste the money to have prescription sunglasses in the first place? Because they work so well and they're so pretty. So they're kind of somewhat see-through. They're really pretty blue. For some reason they look kind of purple toward the bottom. But when I look out, there's only a very, very, very light tint of black, gray. I don't know which one it is, but it still looks almost clear looking out. They're like a perfect pair. So I may say next year, you know what? We're not gonna waste the money. I'm just gonna make sure that my lens are always small enough, whichever ones I pick, to where those glasses can fit over the top. That might just be my overall solution. So we'll find out, because I'll know by the time I get those other glasses and I drive with them. So yeah, a little longer of an update than I expected to give you guys, but if you don't mind switching to your prescription sunglasses, that might be an option. Go polarized. If a regular pair of sunglasses is going to be too dark to put on over. And usually they are polarized, the lens. So honestly, honestly, I have not seen a pair of sunglasses that will fit over your prescription glasses that are not polarized. I'm not saying that they don't make them, I just have never seen them. But trust me, they need to be polarized, at least for me personally, in my eyesight. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out what happened. I think I turned the page. Maybe back too far. Oh, that's what I was doing. Okay, so I was like, why is it on a different page? We're supposed to be doing a time check. 16 minutes, 59 seconds. I got so excited to tell you guys about that. It's so crazy. You know those jokes they talk about where when you get older, what makes you excited? Like what just makes your day? So, oh my gosh, it is, see, I'm telling you, I'm trying to get used to these things. And then I heard a noise and I thought, this cup holder let loose, which would have been good because it would be just my luck that the bottle would have fell or fallen onto the treadmill, even though there's a gap here. So bear with me as I'm trying to have my vision correct while I'm walking on this treadmill. Okay, so anyways, Christmas. First topic. Second topic, if I can get to it, is why I don't make New Year's resolutions anymore. Okay, well first I'm gonna start off with Christmas Eve night, then / on to Christmas. So the night before Christmas, I ate something that made me sick. I don't know. If it were just, let's say, a stomach bug, let's just say it was going to happen. Let's say it's not what I ate at all. I was so sick. So first couple Pepto goes down, and then come Christmas morning, and it might have been early Christmas morning when it happened, I woke up, and usually Pepto is pretty good. Like, I'm starting to be able to tell the difference between when I should do Pepto and when I should do Alka-Seltzer. The one, the extra strength, that also includes for headaches, I love it. I have a family member that hit me to it, and ever since then, I was like, that's the only type of Alka-Seltzer if I have to drink some that I want to use. But I always debate between Alka-Seltzer and Pepto. So I said, no, this is a Pepto moment. So like I said, I woke up, and I said, all right, it's about 4 or 5 hours before I actually have to get up because I'm so sick. I'm just gonna I'm just gonna stay in bed until 11 and see what happens. We had to be at our family member's house at 1 p.m. So down the hatch goes the second cup. And I'm just laying there thinking, stomachache, nausea, everything, please just go away. I would have to say, I don't think I've ever had food poisoning, but oh my gosh. If I were to guess, that's what it starts off like. But unfortunately, of course, if you get food poisoning, then it's way worse, right? So I thought, please don't let this be it. Stomach flu didn't even cross my mind. So 11 o'clock comes, my alarm goes off, and my husband was already up, but I didn't get up. And I don't remember if I was awake already, but I just laid there. 11:05, 11:10, 11:15 comes, I'm still in bed. And I'm thinking, you have just enough time. You already have your outfit picked out, all the way down to the shoes. All you have to do is just feel better. So I told myself, give me a second here. My last walk, I did pretty well. And here are the sniffles back again. Oh my goodness. So maybe I should have wore not a sweater. I already said it would have to be extremely cold out here to go back to sweat. But I don't know why I get like that sometimes. I thought I took care of the issue this morning before I walked, but I guess I didn't. So anyway, sorry about that. But that's all right. You have to psych yourself up. I do not feel sick. No. I'm going to take the shower. I'm going to get dressed. I'm going to comb my hair. By the time I'm done, I'm going to be well enough to go. I promised I would go. I know she would understand, but I've been looking forward to this. Forget all month. I've been looking forward to spending Christmas with my sis the whole year, right? And so I said, you have to get better. You do not have a choice. So, got cleaned up, put on my clothes. My stomach's still fighting me. And I'm like, okay, no, I'm fine. I don't know what's going on, but this is going to stop by the time I finish combing my hair. And so I said, okay. I even planned it all the way down to where. So I believe on, let's check. Yeah, on Christmas Eve, I only walked one time for 40 minutes. And yeah, it looks like the same day. Okay, so I made a video and it says it was day 482. I was trying to figure out why the days were so close, but that's also because I did not walk a second time on Christmas Eve. That would have been a second walk, and I also did not walk on Christmas. That would have been 2 more walks. So if you're wondering why are we not at, let's say, 485 or 484, that's why. Okay, so I washed my hair, I think, the day before, on Christmas Eve. And of course, up here, you get sweaty, and you have to completely clean yourself from head to toe, and I didn't want to deal with that. So once I got cleaned up after that walk on Christmas Eve, I didn't walk again until now. Also, we had to go out of town for a couple of days, and I did not walk on those days either. So that's why, actually, we've probably been closer to maybe like day 487, or walk 487. So I'm going to tell you, by the time I finished combing my hair, I won't say I was perfectly fine, but I was as close to fine as I was going to be. And I chopped it to, all right, you feel good enough to go. And I did. I was happy My hair did give me a lot of trouble. It's just getting hard to comb because it's getting longer, and I have a certain hairstyle I like. Not quite sure how it looks to other people, like when they see it, but I thought, okay, it looks cute enough to be inside. And there was hardly a hair out of place. You know how it is. The hair at the top, the hair at the bottom, usually is shorter, right? All the way around your edges. So for once, those shorter hairs weren't fighting me. And I got my hairstyle as close to perfect as possible, as I wanted it. So I put on my shirt, and I waited for my husband to be finished, be ready, and we went. Okay, time check, 25 minutes, 28 seconds. So we get over there, and of course, just like every year, she's outdone herself. Everything smelled great. There was a few finishing touches she was putting on the food, and I was so excited. This is the most people I think came for Christmas out of all of the years we lived here that we've been going to my son's house. And so I was really excited to see everybody, to see what outfits they were going to wear, if they had any unique earrings, and just to see everybody. And of course, we all came with an appetite. So we had, well, I'll start with the peas because I don't too much care for them, but other people said they were good. Chicken and potatoes, ham with pineapples, just a variety of foods. There was other potatoes, the little small ones, I can't remember what they were called, but let's say we ate. And we ate some more. And then of course, she did her famous sundaes, but this time, let me tell you, that ice cream scoop, the scooper, just kept getting passed around. And I know that she's used to making our sundaes for us, but there was 2 tables. So by the time she got to our table, over half the people had already made their sundaes the way they wanted them. And so we just had a good time. We had chocolate covered strawberries. We had a blast. And I was really, really excited about that. So, yeah, that was Christmas Day. Excuse me, there's not too much more to tell about that day. And then the next day was the day I started off telling you about. It turned out that these were ready. And so Friday we took our trip and got our second set of glasses. Okay, so let's do another time check. We're at 28 minutes, and I'm trying to think, was there anything else about Christmas Day besides the fact that it was very warm outside. We were very warm in the house. All of us were like, oh my gosh, are you hot? Are you hot? Yeah. Are you hot? Whew. Are you hot? And so we started opening screens on windows and doors to just like cool it down from in there. And we just went from there. So great day. I know it wasn't much. I know you guys are probably hoping that something extremely funny happened or something like that. But I will say, before I go to the next topic, that she decorates her house like a winter wonderland. It's gorgeous inside her house during the holidays for Christmas. So there are some people that had never been to her house and they were just in awe. I mean, everywhere you looked, there was something to do with Christmas. And it was nice to see how much other people that have never seen just how much she decorates, all the beautiful things that she has in her house and the stories that she has behind them. So I liked that part of the day too. And one couple, she had me give a tour because there's not a room in there that's not decorated. So yeah, it was great. It was fun. Got to meet some new people I hadn't met yet. I forgot to tell you guys that. And overall, it was just a great day. And even when we left, it wasn't that cold. Let's see. Next topic. Why I don't make a New Year's resolution anymore. We're 30 minutes, 9 seconds. Well, first and foremost, it's probably the reason you hear people say, which is, I never keep the resolution. I just don't do it. It'll be, if I have 2 jobs, I'm just gonna work, and have this money put aside, and then you get tired, right? You can only work 7 days a week for so long before you're exhausted. Usually, it won't be something like that though. Usually it'll be, I'm gonna lose weight. Or I am going to, I don't know. I can't say get a new car because if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So that was never a New Year's resolution. I think it was, I don't even want to say make sure I have maintenances and things done, because my cars always took full synthetic oil, and as you know, that's more expensive. It's a lot more expensive. And so it was never anything like that, but maybe just to be more financially stable overall. But no matter what it was, it never stuck. Some years, I remember in my mid-20s, I got really specific. I don't even remember what it was. I just remember most of the time I didn't complete it. So I just stopped. And even with this, I was really fighting myself today to come out here. And we also had to wait for a package. And it had to be signed for, and I did not know that until today. I looked at the delivery update. It didn't even say that it was out for delivery because it came, of course it travels across the states, but it came from a different city for the delivery because we don't have that carrier here in town. And so it kept saying it was going to be on time. So right when I was finished asking some questions with Verizon, the phone came, and then of course we had to open it and make sure that it wasn't broken. So I have yet to even test the phone to make sure that it works. And I have another 40 minutes to walk out here. So yeah, I know I could have been out here around 7:30ish, and I just didn't. I think since I'm just starting back, even though I'm picking up where I left off, it's hard for me to get into my routine of coming out here. I mean, I think the earliest I've ever been out here, I want to say, is somewhere between 6 and 6:30 a.m. And so it's just hard to get back into it, especially when I knew my glasses were going to be sliding even more because I was sweating. And I didn't feel like dealing with that. So, yeah. But I'm out here. I said, nope. Just keep going. When you start to see the overall health improvement, especially the weight loss, that's going to keep you going. Because I've already lost, I think I said about 4 or 5 pounds within a week. So I'm just going to tell myself to keep going. And the second walk, I get to just do whatever I want. Listen to stuff on my phone or watch TV or whatever. So I told myself, if you want to get to the point to where the walks become easier, it becomes easier to talk, you don't have to drink as much water, which you should anyway, but you're drinking it just because you're supposed to, not because you need to. Repetition and being consistent with this is the only way that that's going to happen. So that's what made me say, okay, as soon as you get off the phone with Verizon, get out there. I don't know if I want to talk about that for a second, the information I found out, or if I want to save it for the next video, just to give you a couple of ideas of what you can do if you're with Verizon and you're trying to keep your bill lower than what it normally is, or at least at a more affordable price. Like, let's say you need a higher talking plan for whatever reason, the hotspot capability, whatever it may be. What's the best way to get the most out of what you're paying if you can't necessarily get your bill to be lower? Okay, so I think maybe that'll be tomorrow's topic. And then also, what to do if you don't have the Verizon Mobile Protect on your phone. What you can do. Because of course, you don't plan on breaking your phone, especially when you know you have no insurance. So what are your options that are free? Especially dealing with if the phone you got with the phone line was free. Okay, so that would probably take up the whole 40 minutes tomorrow. So I think that'll be the topic. And if I have time today, I will go ahead and write it out. That way, I don't do that in the morning, because that's one of the things that has been slowing me down, is not getting into the routine enough to write my topics the day before, like I used to. So if I'm gonna keep this up for at least another 90 days, well, I got like, 85, I think, something like that, then I'm gonna have to start doing that, because it takes some time. And then also, I actually forgot to tell you guys the time we started. So what I'm gonna have to do is just remember to look at the clock on my phone when I take my break in between my two walks and subtract the 40 minutes. So yeah, I forgot to tell you guys the time. So like I said, I'm just now getting back into the routine of my walk and talks and things like that. I'll get it to where, like the last walk, I didn't forget anything so far as setup is concerned. We will be all right. So we're at 37 minutes, 53 seconds. And I want to say that I hope you had a good Christmas. And you also have a good new year. A motivational message, if I were to give one, would be, if you're like me and you make New Year's resolutions and you find that you just don't complete them, maybe try one. Because if you're like me, I have multiple ones. And some of them worked hand in hand. Like, oh, be healthy, work out. Obviously, how can you work out and not be healthy, right? I know you still have to eat healthy, but it's a part of it. So usually it was something that went together. So if you want to do 2 or 3 things, maybe it can be something where they all work off of each other. Like you would need to accomplish one to accomplish the other. And maybe that will help. Other than that, I would have to say, how do I put this? The only way, to be quite honest, I know how to put this is, for me personally, these words just came into my mind. So I don't know how you would want to put it in your own words, or if you would say, no, you said it perfectly. Don't just survive, live. The live part I just came up with now. And what I mean by that is exactly what I said. It goes with, if you want more out of life, do it. Like I said before, one of my other motivational messages within this past week was, at least for me personally, I'm not going to let someone tell me what I should and shouldn't have, how little I should have. Because just because I want more doesn't mean I'm not grateful for what I have. It does not mean that I'm not content with what I have. It just means I want more out of life. So I'll add that back into this motivational message. Don't let anyone limit you. If you say the sky's the limit, then it is. You determine that. So, like I said, you can take my advice or not, but that's just what I'm going to try to do. Because people have a tendency to just say stuff like that. I don't know what it is. But bare minimum, there's nothing wrong with that not being on your list. Okay? Because at the end of the day, you're going to find, most likely, it was something that you had to accomplish yourself. And if there were other people involved, that you put in just as much time, if not more, into that goal. So if you have a lot of goals and you're going to have a better life, then don't limit yourself and don't listen to, I don't know if you want to call them naysayers, whatever you want to call it, whatever that word is, I can't think of what it is. I think that was it. Because they will. And then you'll hear you just like fancy things. And it's just like, I'll say this, if you've ever been around those type of people, half the things they have aren't working. It'll be the same thing. You'll have a car, they'll have a car. But yours is expensive and fancy. No, it works because, one, you were lucky enough for it to not break down. Come on now, right? All you can do is regular maintenance, what you're supposed to do, and hope your car stays running. But people have a tendency to say stuff like that. And you always look at them like, well, why don't you think that what you have is nice as well? And why can't we both have nice things? So it's crazy. If you have a house, they have a house, yours is bigger. Oh, you think you're all that. No, for whatever reason, and I don't have to give one. No, just know you don't have to explain yourself to anyone. That was the house you chose, and for whatever reason why you got it, it was your choice. So yeah, don't let people bring you down, drag you down, hold you down, and talk you down from your dreams and your goals. All right, we are at 43 minutes, 13 seconds, and 1.58 for distance, 170 calories. And there we go. But yeah, I don't know. I would also have to say, remember when I told you your circle gets small? It gets really small. You are, at least the way I feel personally for myself, and my husband has said, we're just walking down the path we chose, and just because it's different, we never said it was better. It was just choices that we make versus choices someone else makes. And so people have a tendency to, especially when you start succeeding at anything, they take it personally. And you were trying to make your life better. You know what I mean? Like, and they'll act like what you're doing is making their life worse. And to be honest with you, if they call themselves your friend, or you know the words you're using, your ace, whatever, right, your best friend, then they should want the most for you and for themselves. But yeah, you'll often find that if they're not accomplishing much and you're excelling, you're progressing, they take that personally and they get offended. And it's like, I don't want to say that that's not nice for me to say, but the only way I can think of to say this is it's like, I wasn't even thinking about you today. Not that I didn't say I don't care. I was just focused on my goal of what I set to do, especially since my actions don't just affect me anymore because I'm married. So that's my motivational, if I can get that message to you guys. Stay strong for yourself. And I did give this message before. I'll add this in. If you are an extremely helpful person, personally, I found for me, like I said, if you want to take this as advice, or if not, you just want to say, well, she's just telling us how she's progressing in life and the changes that she's making overall. But do as much, if not more, for yourself as you do for other people if you just can't bring yourself to stop helping. Regardless to, let's say it's totally, utterly like their fault that they're in this situation. You might be that type of person where you're like, I'm just going to help anyway. But for me, it has to do some type of good. It has to actually be like a goal set, and it has to have made some type of progression, and a problem has had to have been solved. Like, I don't like wasting my time doing things, because I've learned that spending time doing something is different than wasting your time. Okay, both of them has time in it, and you can't get that back. So it has to count for myself. And so now I am taking the advice of other people that I know. They have advised me years ago to just start taking care of me. And so that's what I'm trying to do. And of course, like I said, I'm always thinking about my husband and how I can help him, and just how our lives together can be better. But I always say, you know, you're still an individual within your relationship. So there's always a personal growth within it. So yeah, that's just me personally. I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you guys are having a good exercise. I hope you're seeing your results that you want to see. If not, keep going. One day you're going to stand on the scale, or whatever the case may be. Let's just say you're doing the opposite and you're trying to gain weight, and you're going to look like, oh my gosh, I reached my goal. And I think for me, I'm going to have to kind of keep going, because the weight can always come back, right? And so that's the hardest thing, is keeping it off. But that's my main goal, is just to be more healthy and to lose weight. But this time to kind of keep it continuous, to where if I gain 10 pounds, I'm still below my weight goal. So that's my ultimate goal, is to get like 10 or 15 pounds below 150. So if some of it comes back, I'm still not above 150. So yeah, you guys have a wonderful and safe day. Bye.